Everyone, my name is Shantae Reed. I've had the opportunity to meet a number of you, but hopefully get a chance to meet all of you towards the end of the session. This is my second session as far as the executives on campus is concerned. I did have a chance to come out and participate last year, so I'm very happy to be back this year. I am an employee at JP Morgan. I'm a recruiting director focused primarily on our entry talent recruiting efforts, where we recruited at particularly over 33 colleges and universities to support my team supports. And we tend to hire at minimally around 350 some odd interns and 400 analysts a year for the particular division that I support. So as a recruiting director, such instances like this is always great, where I can come here and be able to chance to have an engagement with all of you and share some of the backgrounds and our opportunities that we have at JP Morgan. Just to give you a little bit about my background, why this topic is very near and dear to me. I started out and have been in banking for 10 years now, but I'm from Texas. I spent 7 years in Chicago and have only been in New York for 2 years. But when I was in Texas, I did go to the University of Texas at Arlington, as you know in my bio, and I started out as an accounting major. I was an accounting major up to my last semester, interesting enough. And I made one of the first hardest decisions I ever had to make, which was switching my major from accounting to, in fact, moving to liberal arts school and receiving an oral communications degree. So my background really does flow between having a very solid business background and knowledge and my experiences, operations management and project management, and I've been in HR for the latter half of my career at JP Morgan. So I'm very interested in this topic and dialogue, because I have kind of moved in between business and liberal arts background, and hoping that I can bring some really interesting dialogue to the mix.
And thank you for inviting me to participate in this. My name is Ed Labaton. I am a lawyer. I graduated from what was then called the City College School of Business and Civic Administration. The next semester they changed the name to the Public School. And then went on to Yale Law School, where I got my degree in the United States Army, and I've been practicing now for 51 years. And as I say, when I get it right, I'll quit. I'm particularly intrigued by the topic because I started at the school in one of the liberal arts majors. I came intending to get a degree in business administration. That changed after during the time I took my first business administration course. I then thought, well, maybe I'd take accounting because I liked my first accounting course. Then I took my second accounting course. And by then, I decided none of those were good for me. So if I was going to go, I could have transferred uptown because it was the same college. It was just a downtown branch of City College. But I would have had to have a whole different set of required courses. And I decided I'd major in economics, which I liked, minor in government, because of the school of business, and take all the political science courses. And in the meantime, take electives in philosophy, in English, in history, in sociology. I took my last semester. Took, I think, 4 philosophy courses, and at least 3 history courses, at least 2 English courses, maybe 4. And I have, my career has been in doing a lot of securities litigation, and part of that, I assume, I did security in cases involving accounting defendants. I've sued at least, I've been involved heavily in at least 6 or 7 big accounting cases. No, for more than that many cases, but at least with what was then the Big 8, at least 5 or 6 of them, with moderately good results. And I had to learn accounting after I decided I'm not an accounting major. But I found that I enjoyed my education. I think I got a great deal out of it. And I fully respect those of you who want to major in business, because I think that is there are great opportunities, but I will not change my education of the world.
How did your academic background translate into the professional world? Was it an aspect of particular knowledge missing from your formal education?
It's difficult to say. I mean, certainly the part about English and writing, the other thing I did when I was downtown, I was active in the Ticker, features editor in the Ticker. Almost became editor-in-chief, but for the basketball scandal, but that's another story. And I thought that there is nothing more important than the ability to write well and communicate well. And English and two newspapers are invaluable experiences. Otherwise, and then the philosophy courses, particularly logic and ethics, were very helpful in teaching how to think, it was very helpful indeed, and just the general knowledge. And I think it's good to get educated in areas that you can't get much of an education in history and in philosophy and the other thing, and other liberal arts courses after you graduate. You can obviously do continuing education by continuing to read, but the best time to get it is when you're in college and it's an undergraduate.
You know, what I would offer when I was changing my major from accounting, I did have accounting internships, so I was able to get some of that practical and on-hand experience. And I did not work in an accounting firm when I had my internship opportunities. Instead, I was working in real estate. But it's quite interesting when I was looking to change my major from accounting to liberal arts, really what that meant and how that was really transcending in my current internships. I worked at the company, and certainly while I had the fundamentals of business and finance and accounting, I was more so interested in raising my hand and saying, well, can I be in front of individuals training and teaching them on how to use Excel, how to use Access? That's where some of that natural communications, organizational development was coming out in myself as far as what my true interest was. And my manager at the time, he would say, now, do you want to do accounting, or do you want to teach, or do you want to train individuals on how to use different instruments and tools as far as going through and preparing budgets? So for me, when I asked this question, is asked around, practical knowledge, was it missing from my school? And accounting is more on hand, right? When I moved to liberal arts and became a communications major, I won't say that something was missing, but I would say that if I were in an internship that was focusing very specifically on communications, I think at the time when I was in school, it was very specific around broadcast, journalism, speech communication. Those were really what the focus was when it came to liberal arts, apart from history and English. So as a communications major, I wasn't interested in going to broadcast or journalism. And so the question was, well, really, what can I do with my degree? Or am I learning things in the classroom that I could then apply into whatever job or career I was going to go into? And that was always a question mark for me. It just wasn't apparent. It wasn't clear as to what career I could have. But, what I can say, and I brought a book with me today. This is from actually when I was in school. This is, I can say, the one textbook that transcends into everything I'm doing now, which is an organizational communication for survival book. And when I tell you, this can be used if you're managing people, regardless that I have a communications degree. If you're in consulting, if you're doing any type of strategy work, you're being asked to come in and provide some real life, organizational structure and sound around an organization. This was the one course that I remember really did give me that fundamental thinking around how do you do that. So I would offer to you that I don't think that the schooling is that be all end all. That practical experience, once you go out there and you get it, I think that's when everything comes together and you begin to make a little bit more sense of the degree that you actually are receiving and studying.